Andrew Bopros here. Well, I want to do a quick video about training camp and just give you my general thoughts. Again, I've not been at camp at all up to this point, but we are planning on being there. I'm actually getting on a plane here very shortly, hopping out to LA. I'll be with the Bolt Bros. And guys, if you see us at camp on Saturday, come say hello to us. James, myself, and Kyle will be there also Monday and Tuesday next week. We're going to be linking up with the director also and some of the other podcasters. So we're really excited to be out there. But what an amazing facility, guys. Check this thing out, man. I mean, there's a lot to discuss. I want to talk about culture change, what we can expect from this season moving forward. Guys, so much to get into. I'm going to keep this video fairly brief because we are going to be going live most likely on Sunday and give you our impressions as the Bolt Bros together. Bolt Bros! Okay, folks, as always, like and subscribe if you do enjoy the content. I'm Andrew Bolt Bros. And again, literally no joke. If you see us on Saturday, Monday, or Tuesday, come up and say hello to us. Let's talk football. The whole reason why we do this channel is just to connect with you folks, the Charger Bolt family, and have a good time, have a good conversation. I'm going to give you my general impressions. I'm going to kind of recap what I've heard people say, some of the ESPN analysts, Mia Kimes, some of the other folks, Albert Breer, and really just give you a general sense of what I think is going to happen with the offense, defense, and special teams moving forward. But again, look at how beautiful this Bolt is, man. I mean, I'm absolutely just so excited to be there. Kyle took a full tour of the facility. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get that when James and I are out there, but I'm super excited to see what this is all about. And I mean, just an amazing facility. And you cannot say anymore that the Spanoses do not spend money, folks. They're spending a lot of money, right? So a lot to be said about this. One of the things I'm going to say right out of the gate, and we all know this, but I want to reemphasize this fact that this man right here, Jim Harbaugh, is changing the culture of this team. The cool thing about it, we have a very large, we probably went from one of the worst coaching staffs to one of the largest coaching staffs. We now have adults in the room. This man's an adult, played college, football in the NFL, went all the way through college, just won a national championship with the Michigan Wolverines. And now this man right here has changed the culture of this organization. I cannot stress that enough. When we talk about physicality on the offense, defense, and special team side of the ball, it's a big part of the conversation we're having. We'll talk a little more about that a little bit later. But this man right here, clearly everyone in the NFL loves this guy. He's infectious. And just the way he handles himself and conducts his business on a daily basis is amazing. And truly, I'm such a huge fan of him. And again, we do want to play. James and I want to challenge Jim and Joe Ortiz to a game of pickleball doubles. Let's go. Bolt Bros versus Jim and Joe Ortiz. Let's make that happen. I'm going to be out there. Got plenty of time. Let's play on Sunday. Let's get the social media team to record it. Should be a lot of fun. Challenge to you, Jim and Joe. Hopefully you will accept it. But again, I just have to stress, it's so nice to see an adult in the room, right? Brandon Staley, I don't want to belabor the point. This is old school football, folks. We're not spreading it out as much. Yes, we're going to have spread packages when we have to go get some points. But this gentleman right here plays very simple, very basic, down-to-earth football. Really easy to just establish. You don't have to have a flashy wide receiver or a super amazing running back. You can have a pretty basic team and be very successful in this league. And that's really what he's going to prove. He's done it his entire career as a head coach, and he's going to prove it again this year in the league. And again, it's going to even help this gentleman right here, Justin Herbert. I watched Albert Breer talk quite a bit about Justin Herbert today. He was on the Rich Eisen show. I love the Rich Eisen show. He's a big Harbaugh fan. You all know that he went to Michigan. He's a big Michigan fan. He knows Jim Harbaugh. The reality is this. Every NFL coach, and Albert Breer said this specifically, he was there just yesterday at camp. He sat there and said, hey, they're putting too much emphasis on this man right here. When you got an arm talent the way he has, the way he can play. Again, a lot of people think he even has a photographic memory. I actually think he most likely does, because every coach he's ever worked with is like, man, he's got the playbook down. And he's correcting the offensive coordinator. Greg Roman specifically talked about this in his presser yesterday. It's easy to put it all on him. And every coach in the NFL that's had him as a head coach, save really Anthony Lynn, I would say, put it all on him. Jim Harbaugh's going to do the complete opposite. He's going to make a team around him make his job easier. So they're going to give him less responsibilities. And that's better for him, right? Because he can shine. He can then be the quarterback we know he can be. So again, I'm a huge fan of the way that we're going to be playing football moving forward. Now I want to talk about J.K. Dobbins. J.K. Dobbins had a really interesting presser the other day. Just want to recap some of the things. He was also on the Chargers Weekly podcast. I love Matt Money Smith and Chris Hayre. I love that. I've actually bet Chris Hayre. I think it was last year. And really cool guy. Matt, Chris, if you're listening to this, let's connect. We'll be there on Saturday. We'll be there Monday and Tuesday as well. Let's really connect. I'd love to chat with you some more and just really just pick your brain. But one thing J.K. Dobbins talked about, I'm going to say a couple things. A lot of people think we're just going to smash the ball. We're not. We really are going to pass. I think it's going to be 50-50. Greg Roman consistently talked about this in his presser yesterday. He was like, look, man, we're going to be doing a little bit of everything. Whatever the defense is allowing us to do, we're going to take it. Whatever advantage we can get, we're going to take it, right? The thing that's great about J.K. Dobbins, and I still think, and you guys let me know what you think, I think J.K. Dobbins still is going to be the number one running back for this team. And I'm going to tell you why. I think he can do it all. He's the all-around back. He's going to get balls in the backfield, much like Austin Ekeler got. He's only 25 years old, guys. 25 years old. He's looked good out there. I'm going to talk a little bit about the running back rotation and the wide receiver rotation as well, too. But one thing that J.K. Dobbins said in his presser yesterday, he says that the Chargers revamp for 2024 is we are going to be a bully. We're going to be a bully. It goes back to Harbaugh's mindset and mentality. We're going to play absolutely smash mouth physical football. Now, we don't have the pads on. Underwear Olympics. Okay. We're not seeing people hit, right? That's not happening at the moment. And again, we're not trying to get people to hit right now. You know, it's understand the playbook, understand what's going on. You know, we all know the talent Justin Herbert has and some of our wide receivers, but the offensive line is going to be a bully. They want to physical that team, destroy them at the line of scrimmage on the offensive and defensive side of the ball. And I'm going to talk more about just the offensive side of the ball this time, and then I'm going to talk about the edge rushers. But J.K. Dobbins specifically, I just really think he's going to have a bounce back year. And he's so humble, so humble. Every time I hear him talk, I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's absolutely amazing. And Gus Edwards is just a quiet guy, but he is just a smash mouth. He's going to be the goal line guy. He's going to be the guy that smashes at 1 or 2 yards. When we need a short yardage play, he's going to come in and just drive the ball down people's throat. But physicality, folks, physicality. Hayden Hurst talked about it in his first presser during OTAs. He said, we are going to play an extremely physical brand of football, and that's what he wants to do. And Hayden Hurst is looking amazing. Will Dissly's looking amazing. I don't want to talk too much about them just in this video today. Probably going to talk about that more on our live on Sunday. But I think this kid right here, again, he's only 25 years old, folks. He's going to have a bounce back year. I'm so excited to see him be successful in his NFL career. He is absolutely electric, folks. Electric. He could do more things than anybody out there. And I'll tell you right now, Harbaugh knows how good this guy is. He's never lost to Jim Harbaugh. Never. He's always won. So Jim Harbaugh knows J.K. Dobbins, and he knows what kind of talent he has. So I'm excited to see him moving forward. So let's talk about the rotation briefly. Again, I'm already getting a little too long-winded in this, but I want to talk a little bit about this. So this is the starter and reps provided, right? So for the 2-minute drills and move ball periods, McConkey, Chark, and Palmer were the three. I think that's exactly accurate. I think that's 1, 2, 3. Probably Palmer, Chark, McConkey, and then you'd have, our boy Johnston, right? So, but again, Dobbins, Patterson were the running backs. Will Dissly and Hayden Hurst were the tight ends. So it's very interesting to see how that's played out. I'm going to talk a little bit more about how many wide receivers and running backs are going to be on this team for the 53-man roster. My conversation to you is going to be a little bit interesting when I talk about special teams. But Dobbins, Patterson were the running backs. Will Dissly, Hayden Hurst were the tight ends. I actually really think Hayden Hurst and Will Dissly are going to have amazing seasons. Greg Roman even said that they're using Jordan McFadden, an offensive lineman, as a third tight end. Guys, think about that. Ben Mason is a tight end / fullback. You're going to put Jordan McFadden in there. Jordan McFadden is actually very, very physical, very fast too as well. He's actually not, he's kind of a smaller offensive lineman. So you could use him as a third tight end, which I think is pretty great. But then the second group is Johnson, Rice, Johnson, Darius Davis, and Simi Fehoko working with the second team offense. Isaiah Spiller, Vidal, Elijah Dotson rotated as running back. So again, get very, very early days. We all know it's going to be interesting. Sonspar, Donald, Parham were the tight ends. So again, very interesting. Remember these names right here, guys, because, well, I'll talk about it when I get into special teams. I think there's a lot to be said about a rotation. I fully expect this probably to be day one starters for the most part. These are the guys that are going to be fighting for positions on the team, and we'll see where that definitely plays out. Now, I wanted to talk briefly about Junior Colson. Junior Colson had appendicitis, and a lot of people are talking about his non-football illness. He had appendicitis. Appendix was removed is what I'm assuming, so he needs to recover from that. He'll be coming back soon. So let's not worry too much about him. But I want to talk about the defense briefly, and then I'm going to talk about special teams because I think that's going to be a very interesting topic moving forward. But I think these two gentlemen right here are going to be rotating quite a bit. I was reading an article. I can't remember who threw the article out, but they were talking quite a bit about how amazing the edge rushers are going to be for the Chargers. The Chargers have so many edge rushers. Again, Bud Dupree, Bosa, Mack, Thule. You're going to see a lot of rotating of players out there. So again, they're going to want to keep these guys healthy. I fully expect us to have an amazing pass rush this season. And I think our defensive line is actually going to be better than a lot of people think. So I don't really want to belabor that too much. I talked quite a bit about that on my defensive video, but I do suspect that we're going to be seeing a lot of production from these guys moving forward. Let me wrap up my thoughts on special teams. We all know how great Dicker the kicker is, guys. I mean, look, I am so excited to see what this guy's going to do. One of the best kickers in the NFL last year. I expect exactly the same. But special teams, kickoffs, and punt returns are going to be very interesting. So going back to what I was talking about as far as the wide receivers are concerned, a lot of people keep asking me, well, how many wide receivers are we going to carry? I'm going to tell you something right now. I think we at least carry 4 running backs, and we might carry 7 wide receivers. And I'm going to tell you why. When you talk about special teams, I watched an interesting video the other day from Underdog Fantasy. They went back and looked at the XFL on the kickoff return rules. Interestingly, they run those plays much like a running play, right? So they really are like an offensive line. They'll do fakes, they'll do crossers, they'll do all these different type of running formations to run the ball back, right? And what you want on that is not really slow guys. You want fast guys. So people like Cornelius Johnson, Brendan Rice, Elijah Dotson, Kamani Vidal, those guys could easily find ways onto the 53-man roster just because they're fast, physical, and they could tackle. And the linebackers and defensive backs are going to be even more important. So I suspect we're going to go very light on these type of kickoff returns moving forward. So it'll be very interesting to see how it plays out moving forward. I truly believe, again, Brendan Rice, I think he makes the squad, right? I think it's going to be, guys, I just truly believe. I mean, he's above average size. He's super quick. I mean, if he were to, one of these guys from the opposite team gets through, he could run people down from behind. That's what you want on special teams now moving forward. You do not need big guys. You do not need huge players, right? So it's going to be a different type of 53-man roster. I find that very fascinating. So again, we'll see how that progresses moving forward. And again, these wide receivers, you could be surprised how many people actually make the squad just because of the new special teams rules. So again, I don't want this video to get too long. It's already way longer than I wanted it to be. You guys know I could flap my gums, a lot, right? But guys, I couldn't be more excited. Culture change. Clearly, we're seeing a different type of team moving forward. Jim Harbaugh, the new era is here. We finally have adults in the room. They know how to play. Herbert's going to have a breakthrough season. Guys, and right now, just so you know, betting odds are that Justin Herbert only gets 21 touchdowns this next season. I think that's ridiculous. I think he easily gets 30. So if you're a betting man, I think over 8.5 wins. I think Justin Herbert gets over 20 touchdowns. If you guys are betting people, is that the right word, people? Anyways, if you're betting folk, well, that doesn't work either. You get what I'm saying. If you did want to make a bet, I think that's a pretty simple bet. I think you can easily do very well with that. But guys, again, we are going to be at the Bolt tomorrow. All 3 Bolt Bros. If you see us, come say hello to us. We want to talk to you. We want to connect with you and have a good conversation with you guys. As always, Andrew Bolt Bros. See you guys in the next one.